All right, welcome everybody. This is CBSI presents Sales from Flipside number 99. Dino, man with a mustache, is back. We got a full crew tonight. I like it. We're gonna talk maybe Star Wars, Watchmen. Who knows? Maybe we'll do some other stuff. But boys, introduce yourselves.
What's up, everybody? This is McClay out here, just chilling, living. Got too many cards behind me now instead of comics, so I'm going crazy.
Let's go.
P-Dub's here, fostering a Christmas cold, so got some NyQuil and a little juice on board, so we'll see how tonight goes.
Time to go to a con and spread those germs, buddy.
Yeah. I'll skip a shower too. Let's do it all out.
Handshakes for everybody.
John Z here. I'll try and get a little bit of comic conversation into tonight's episode. I know it's tough these days.
Oh.
No, and it's Ben S here. No, I'm with you, Z. I like them both. I like both conversations. But
Hey, just join us on the top 10. We'll have plenty of comic talk there.
hey, anybody who's listening or watching, Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
We opened our gifts already, dude. Can you
What?
believe it? Yeah, the wife can't. She can't. I just let her go. I'm like, whatever. So.
Well, pressure's off now. You've either done good or you screwed up, and you know it.
Oh, I did great. I got her one of those. It's actually going to help my budging baseball business right now. She got one of those cricket things, that you could print out shit on. I don't know, whatever.
Oh yeah.
My wife's got one of those crickets.
Yeah. So I told her it better create $1,000 a month. Etsy store going, Pinterest, whatever the hell the girls do out there. So
Facebook Marketplace.
Facebook Marketplace. You better start doing things.
Here's the question, because Ben said his wife has one. Does she use it?
She did make our daughter's indoor soccer team shirts.
Nice.
And it really wasn't. I helped her because you have to on the vinyls. You have to use a little like a little tiny thing to peel out all the things where the vinyl gets cut.
Yep.
It can be a little time consuming, but I think probably once you get the hang of it, it's not terrible. But
I'm gonna get one of those stickers made, maybe with the Waxback Chaser Instagram handle, maybe some. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how big I get this baseball business going.
I hope she got you a devil sweatshirt. Yeah.
Well, maybe. No, she didn't even. What did she give me? Did she even give me clothes? I don't even think she got me too many clothes.
Mustache trimmer.
Opened them last night and you already forgot?
No, I got like a little watch ring jewelry organizer thing. It's like a nice thing. It has my initials on it and stuff. And then what's the other big? Oh, she got me this printer, dude. I got rid of the printer and then I got rid of the big comic book scanner, so I have room for some shit now.
Did you sell it?
What, the scanner? No.
The big thing?
Nah. No, I don't need it anymore, so I just kind of put it away and put it in storage.
Yeah, figure out how many baseball cards you can fit on that thing now.
Who knows, man? Maybe I'll buy a sheet of cards that I can upload it on eBay. Look at that. Uncut sheets, Ben.
Oh, I got several of them still.
See, I'm learning things every day. Look at.
I can't remember which years. I know I've got one. It's you probably laugh, but I've got one uncut sheet from when they made cards for A Bug's Life. The Pixar. Yeah.
I think I saw that in theaters.
Those are rare.
Is Jerry Seinfeld gonna sign that for you? That'd be a good opportunity to have Seinfeld sign that thing.
I don't think that's a bee's life.
Bee movie.
Oh yeah, wrong one.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't even know who started in A Bug's Life.
Elaine was in Bug's Life, I think.
Oh,
Was she really?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't even remember who's in that one.
Yeah, I think Julie Louis-Dreyfus was the.
Kevin Spacey was in it. I don't know if you get your autograph now.
Kevin Spacey was the villain.
Yeah, Dave Foley.
Oh yeah, news radio.
Yeah, Kids in the Hall news radio guy.
Yeah, okay.
Phyllis Diller. Oh Jesus. Oh.
I'm looking for the pickups banner in the settings. I'm trying to learn the system. Did it disappear?
You gotta go to brand. Is it brand?
Yeah.
Banners.
I don't know, dude.
I actually got rid of it because we have this one.
Oh,
Look at that. Jeez, we are living.
I'm not giving away my pickups.
But but you can write anything in the new ticker that ticks along the bottom, and that's kind of cool.
Create a banner.
I'm gonna say
sucks.
I'm gonna say some very offensive stuff in the banner and just scroll it. I'll go first. I'll go first for pickups, I guess.
I gotta go grab mine.
Oh, okay. Well, it doesn't matter. I'll go first. And no one should be surprised what do I have. So, I mean, it is what it is. So I bought a bunch of baseball cards. I got like 10 packs or something. I don't know. So I picked that up. I picked up some stuff that me and Brian opened on last Flipside break with Leg. Leg made an appearance.
I saw that.
Yeah, buddy. He goes, send me a link mid video, and he was pretty how would I say in the moment, we'll say that.
Enthusiastic.
Yeah. The Raiders were playing.
Man.
He was in his element. We'll just put it that way. So he opened up some Prism stuff. He didn't get anything great, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'll Panini, but I picked up that. I sold my Spawn 1 black and white. Guy finally paid his last shipment.
I forgot about that payment plan.
I that's the only thing I picked up, but I do want to talk about this. So he paid today, right? So today's the 23rd. And I said, hey, I think I should wait to the new year to ship it. Now he's only in New York. It's not like it's that big of a deal. But he said, no, don't worry, just ship it as soon as possible. Should I wait or should I ship it, you think? He says, as long as you're insured, you can ship it. It's cool, don't worry.
Yeah, are you shipping priority?
Yeah, oh yeah.
As long as you're insured, it's fine.
Yeah. I just hate to if they lost it, it's like
priority you're usually safe. It's the first class, forget it.
Or overseas stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be okay. Priority, just get a signature.
I'm just gonna have it sign it and then ship it, and then we should be pretty decent.
If it's signed, you're safe.
Yeah. So
honestly, I don't know. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I was. You know how it is. It's Christmas time. It's kind of crazy.
Truthfully, Ozzy says, if you really want to get shit there, do the one day. I mean, sometimes you could just save on the insurance and some of that shit by just shipping it one day because it just kind of goes on its own path.
Yeah. I'll insure it. I just that'd be my luck. I do the one day and something happens and I don't know. I mean, for $1,000 book, I'd rather.
Yeah, I agree. Was that a 9.8?
Yep.
Oh, beauty. I
sold it for $10.50. That's not terrible. I bought it for $3.75 plus grading.
That's one I miss. I didn't have a 9.8. I had 9.6, but man, I missed that book.
Yep. I had that. I don't have too many other books lying around anymore. I got to do. I don't know. I don't know. I saw a foreign post. Did you see my foreign post? And
yeah.
I said I was interested, but he never sent pictures yet, so I don't know. I didn't know if any of that stuff was.
The issue is like reading foreign titles so hard to figure out what the hell you're looking at without like being an expert.
And then what else was I going to tell you? I don't know. I just the comic market just some guy was selling a I'll give you a good example. Again, I don't know. I haven't been like in comics. Like I mean I've been in comics, but I haven't been like recently. Somebody's selling a 181 and a giant size X-Men #1 for $18.50, and against no grades, no MVS in the 181, and there's a spine split about a decent nick and soiled cover, and it's not good, but $18.50 for 2 books, man.
Somebody might buy it.
Ugh.
I mean, there's just people buying. It's settled a bit. I mean, I think it was, a year, 6 months ago, people were just nuts. I think it's settled down a little bit. It's not, a lot of talk of death, a lot of talk of slowdowns. I just think it went so high so fast that it's just kind of we're plateauing while people get some levity to the situation.
Yeah, I don't know. I always love to throw the hunt and finding books for real cheap, but those days are gone, man. I mean, I hate to say it. Like, I mean, okay, some people are gonna find something for a quarter, but I mean
it's all deals. There's just less of them. There's more people looking.
Yeah,
more people educated.
Yep.
I think that's why I spend a little more time. The foreigns right now, I'm not exclusively buying them, but it's fun because I can pick up some fun stuff for cheap.
Yep.
when I buy a US book, at this point my tastes have gotten a little bit expensive.
Yeah.
I can't pick up that many.
Yeah. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all.
So, Chad, did you say how much you got? So you bought the Spawn for how much did you buy it for?
$375, and then whatever grading is.
And then so you sold it for how much?
$10.50.
It's a hell of a book to get raw in 9.8, man. That was a tough one.
Very
yeah,
tough.
So that, and it's funny because me and Sean were talking about this, and Sean's never pressed that book. So I was like, I go, it looks great. We had the scans, and I said, he goes, how does it look when you get it? And it's all black, dude. And it's not like, and I was worried because it's not like, I was worried about being glossy and stuff like that, but it pressed out great,
Yeah.
He hit me home runs there. I mean, he hit me with that Moon Knight Sinkovich variant that I got 9.8 on. He hit me with that Spawn black and white one that I got 9.8 on. I mean, he murdered this year for me. I mean, it was.
Joe brought up this, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but this was interesting to talk about the Spawn stuff. You talked about the black and white, but this was one of the things that sold the other day on eBay. This Comic Shop News 255, $334.
Why?
Spawn's crazy, man, right now.
I don't think that's that rare, probably.
Well, I'm good with that because I'm okay with that not being because then maybe I could sell this guy right here.
That's true.
Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, Comic Shop News is not. You're not going to find a bunch, but man, it's not. Ugh.
I think it's conditioned with those because they were that back then. They were the paper. They weren't like now. They have a glossy chain.
Yeah,
and
you're
so
right.
People threw them out. They can't keep condition, and they're probably all yellowed to heck by now from 90.
Well, that one was though. That's the thing. That one wasn't even a nice copy. It wasn't like it was a pretty copy.
It was already yellowed. Yeah.
Yeah, but you figure there's probably stores out there who just had like boxes of them, and they're just sitting in a warehouse with like 50 of them sitting there.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody will find some.
Yeah.
Hell, who knows? I could have, when I got back into collecting, thrown them away as they were mixed in with my comics and said, why do I have this shit?
Yeah. I mean, nobody would blame you. I mean, honestly, if you're dollar bin digging, are anybody even going to look at Comic Shop? I mean,
I don't even know that I've seen those ever actually, in a box for sale.
Yeah.
I buy every time I see a Comic Shop News or some of those old crazy comic books or like the preview style books, I look through every single one of them, man, before I decide not to buy them. Those are the type of stuff that even before CBSI and stuff that I used to love buying because you can find a lot of cool creator first in there, not just like advertising first. You can find some cool early creator stuff in those things. So
I bet a Walking Dead one might go for a good amount.
Well, I have the Walking Dead previews. That usually sells for $100 or so.
I mean, I'm not one to judge. I've buy those damn caliber rounds.
Yep.
One that with the crow in it. I mean, I don't see them ever, but it's cool to have. It's a completionist type thing.
Yeah, I agree. That's why most people buy them. I mean, completionist type thing. So, and I'm cool with that. Spawn fans are rabid, so I'm betting on that. I just sent in those books to the McFarlane thing, and those books are instantly getting sold. So,
you're going to sell them with the wave that everyone's saying is going to come? You're not going to hold?
Well, the only reason why I decided to sell with the wave is because the two books that I'm getting signed and graded are not super hard to get. They're rare, they're the Alamo Drafthouse books.
Yeah,
the problem is I don't think they're going to grade very well because I gave Doc Joe my best looking ones.
Oh, what's wrong with you?
He is a son of a.
Doc Joe paid Doc. Here's what's wrong with me. This is to show you how good of a dude Doc Joe is. Doc Joe hits me up, after I post, oh, look what I got. And he goes, are any of those for sale? I go, yeah. He goes, how much you want for them? I go, I don't know. Shoot me whatever you think is fair. And he goes, what are they selling for on eBay? And I told him, and he gave me full price.
Oh man.
So I was like, I'm not gonna send him the shitty ones.
Sure. Yeah, he's a good guy. He sent me that turtle slab for on the house. He's like, oh yeah, you don't have this one yet? Here you go.
Yeah. So
someday I'll actually get to meet Doc Joe because he's an Ohio boy. So
stuck in Oklahoma.
I'm trying to get him to buy me tickets to the national championship that will be in here in 6 days.
He might be the only guy older than you.
Well, he's probably the same age as me, though, right?
Yeah,
I think he's
probably. Yeah, this is interesting while we're talking about that. Chad says the Spawn signing got delayed. So Spawn, Todd was supposed to sign all those books last week, I guess. And he ended up getting sick and not wanting to go on a plane. So now he's not going to do the signing till after January.
Nah,
fine.
It's going around. I got it.
Give him a pass.
It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't matter. You send him in. He's going to sign him. You're going to get him back
after the holidays. You think after the holidays are they more lenient with grading in the new year, or what do you guys think? I know there's the whole fluctuation wave up and down.
I don't know. We'll see. They just received an order from me today, so we'll see. I'll see in 2 weeks what they if they're more lenient or not.
Did you send those to the Magic Man?
No, I did it myself.
Oh, even better. I like that.
Yeah.
Did all moderns?
Yeah, all moderns.
Yeah.
Did they turn out good?
Yeah, I mean, I knew some of them are. There's a few that I know are not 9.8s, but if they come back 9.6, I'm fine with. But
I love this answer right here. I love that. That's one of my favorite all time. I'm morbid though.
I didn't have any real pickups. I opened up. I'm going to be on the Downright Nerdy on Saturday for another Star Trek one. So I opened up my. I bought that Star Trek Picard movie and TV collection a while ago that I showed off. So I finally opened it and it came with that Sky's the Limit comic.
Oh, nice.
But because we're going to talk about Star Trek Generations, the movie. But I went to put the Blu-ray in my Xbox, and the audio is all messed up. So I don't know if the other movies are. I don't know if this whole thing's a bootleg or what. But
what's wrong with the audio?
My Paul's problem. So when I played the movie, and
it's all in Yugoslavian.
It's in Spanish.
No, everything looked normal, played normal, and maybe it could be my Xbox. I don't know, to be honest with you. But
well, that's your first problem.
Yeah, that's true.
But the Xbox, Paul.
The like background noise was normal volume, and then the audio for the voices and things was really low. So it wasn't even. It was really strange. So I didn't pop in one of the other movies yet. So I ended up just buying it I had some Google Play credits. I rented the movie for like $1.50 or something.
You see my post I just sent to you?
Yeah, I saw that. I got to see what other Star Trek movies I have.
10 films for $20, man.
Buried in the ether. And then I got this because I was in Dino's neck of the woods the other day. And
Bulletproof vest?
What's that?
Bulletproof vest?
No, I was driving through the Detroit area during some crazy busy traffic, and there's a bumper in the middle of the road that some kidnap van hit, and it hit the side of my car, and my beautiful baby got a little scratch on it. So I've been wanting one of these for a while, so I just picked up a dash cam. So we don't know what it's going to record coming in the future for 2020. You could have Paul's problems on video from now on, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Is that in 4K?
This is either the best or the worst purchase in your life.
So we'll see. No, I don't know what it is. It's no, not 4K, but it's 1080p, full HD, or whatever. So we'll see how that works out. I'll keep you posted. If I see Bigfoot, I'll let Brian know for sure. I'll be on Coast to Coast AM's website.
You're gonna be my hero if that happens.
Oh God!
Other than that, just Christmas gifts coming in the mail. Nothing too crazy.
All right, I can go. I'll start off. Our our illustrious leader Ben sent me a Over the Ropes 1 variant. Set me a nice number 75 of 125.
I got
limited.
number 10. I got number 10. Fuck you.
It's all right. It's not a competition unless I win. It's a nice number, 75 and 125. It's good. But beautiful book. Check it out.
Did you read
Order
it?
one. What?
Did you read it?
No, I just got it. I haven't even had a chance to. Got it out of the box like an hour before we got here. So
yeah, I haven't read it either. I need to read it.
But who doesn't like wrestling?
I like that one.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's one of my favorites.
We know who's the cover artist. We should know that answer, but I don't.
That feels like information that a professional podcast would research. So
I got it.
Maybe next time.
No, it was was it Antonio Constantino? Maybe did he do that one too for the CBSI variant? I think he did.
Professional.
Yeah, very professional here.
But if you guys don't know, go to comicbookinvest.com, pick that up for $12. Very worth it.
Oh, you should show off the back too. Z, if you could pull the board out.
Oh, I can't.
Oh wait,
I'm not breaking the seal.
Oh, never mind. That's the inside cover. I'm looking at the website.
You guys are terrible. This one?
That's awesome right there.
Yeah, right there.
That's
I'm
so
not
cool.
breaking the seal on my book, gentlemen.
Look at this. Even Antonio Constantino. Look at this. I am professional. I just want to say this. At least one person's professional on this thing. So it's that one. And then, if you go to comicbookinvest.com, there's the CBSI variants right here. Click on it. And there you go. And then, like he said, check this out. Oh, look at all these variants you can buy. And for good prices, too, man. I mean, it's not like it's that expensive.
No, not at all. Not the way they come with the nice bag and board. I said before, the nicer bag and board, nicer than I would put my own books in.
Nice Mylar. You were winning. So, and of course now I got to go a little bit more off the rails. But I showed off a couple editions of this the other week, and somebody posted another one, and I had to grab it. I grabbed a Batman 227. Classic Neil Adams cover. This is the French edition. So adding that to two Brazilian editions that I picked up.
You suck.
That's awesome.
So
You really suck. Bad.
Oh damn! Did you ever answer? Or did we ever ask why the books are different sizes in different countries?
I don't think anybody asked, but I think it's just what's the popular magazine format and size, and what's the printing press it's set up for.
Out of those three, which is your favorite?
This one.
Yeah, because it looks most like the original.
Well, I just think the coloring is wicked.
I like how they have the Superman title on the other one, though.
Yeah, I mean, well, some of just different things. This does go with the more traditional imagery because we showed the newer Brazilian one with the Robin in the back in the foreground. So this one's a little more close to original. So
very cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't officially building the set, but I guess I'm working my way there. So maybe I got to buy a US one.
I don't know what that means. Is this a B1 or BI edition?
What? Hello? Did we all just die?
Yeah, we all just died.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're back though. That's weird.
Sorry about that, guys.
Are we still on the same feed?
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
that was bizarre.
Yeah,
that was bizarre.
Flipside died. Ben didn't pay the internet bill today.
Jesus, man, he's not making enough money off that ghost hunting article.
You guys froze, and all of a sudden I was still moving around on my screen. I'm like, is it me? Is it you? Is it?
So everybody just got kicked off?
Yeah.
And Paul is the one that didn't make it. The dog ate the board.
I think I really found the problem. It was this little turd, you know.
Oh God!
That cat's chewing on cords. What's going on, gentlemen?
I don't know.
Comics and Chaos makes a comment about some inappropriate stuff, and we shut the stream down.
Hey man, hey, I cannot have this anymore. Okay.
Oh God.
I was about to get mad at my stupid internet.
No, I thought it was me.
It's like,
I thought it was
my
me too.
internet.
I almost yelled at the wife to turn off the TV and stop screaming.
Put the phone down.
Yeah, Mom, stop! I'm trying to log on to AOL dial-up.
I'm playing Warcraft, Mom.
Who phone called? Who's on the phone?
Put off the phone.
So
I had one more book.
Joe was wondering if you have an original, though, John.
Well, no, I don't have a Tech 31. I don't even have the 227 US.
Really?
He knows I was looking at the 227 with him in Baltimore, and we both regretted passing up that 9.4.
Oh gosh,
That was stupid. It was a good price. This one, I have no idea, honestly, what it is. The same seller that sold me the Batman. I was like, it's coming out of Canada. I'm like, what else do you got? And he sent me, showed me this. It's a Western. It's Mexican. He's like, it might be Duran. It might not. Who's the Spider-Man artist on the non-canons.
Tilt it up a little bit.
But
Okay,
it just,
there
who
I
doesn't
like
like a Western with a topless
Naked
woman
chick.
on it?
Yeah, I like it.
I already paid postage. I was like, yeah, I'll throw it in for a few bucks. So I am sure somebody out there's like, you know exactly what that is. I'm like, I have no idea. I know it's Mexican. That's all I got. So
did you open it?
Yeah, there's nothing particularly interesting. It's a Western. I couldn't identify it. I couldn't tell you. Definitely, that's it. It's a Western. I don't even see that girl in the story, so let's go with that.
Wow. Now,
Just a cover.
Since you're part of this infamous Facebook group of every foreign variant around, do you guys like scanning interiors? Is that what you usually do? I don't know.
Some of them do. I don't. If I know what the book is, I don't open them just because they're so dang fragile. Most of them. I mean, they're not. Most of these are just not maintained well. This one is fine. I just was curious what it was. I didn't know if maybe it was a recognizable Western. I mean, just from the cover, it could have been a Jonah Hex for all I knew.
Yeah.
So, didn't have much to go on there. I did buy today. I hadn't bought much on eBay in a month or two, but one of the Sergeant Fury non-cannons with the kind of scantily clad women on it came up for sale cheap, so I grabbed one of those. So,
Nice.
Have you ever seen a double cover
of what?
Of a foreign book?
Matt showed me one of something. I don't remember what it was, but I haven't seen many.
Ooh, look at Detective 359 foreign variant.
Well, I will say real quick, this is perfect timing to do this. Coming soon, gentlemen.
It is coming. We were supposed to record this weekend, and I had a family emergency, so I failed on it. So we are coming. We got plans for an episode or two, and gonna dive a little deeper into the foreigns, and you'll have my unbridled lack of knowledge combined with Matt's actual expertise. So we might have something interesting.
Can I highlight some foreigns right now?
I'll be the Paul of the show.
Oh. Let me show this. Would you would you like actually buy a Fantastic Four #1 foreign kind of variant? I guess I don't
Depends
know.
Which one.
It's a Mundy's Comics. I don't even know what Mundy Comics is.
Some of them are you got to do your research. I mean, there's modern ones, older ones.
Yeah, I don't know. And then there's this one. Look at this. Have you seen this one? Little 359 foreign variant.
There's a lot of 359s actually. That's one I've seen a lot of. Not that it's not that it's bad. I'm just saying that's a pretty good set as far as seeing a bunch of them around. And you just got to do your research. You know, is it printed near the original? Is it printed after the original? What's the price on that one?
Right now it's $100 or make offer. It's VG, they say, small tears along the top edge.
Conditions important but less important.
I mean, it's white. It's kind of sorry, I'm always doing that. And then this one is it looks wrecked. I mean,
that book is a fun one just because the Batmans have so many unusual coloring choices in the foreigns. You know, I see a lot of them where he's wearing like pink and kind of purple costumes.
I'm surprised.
Get some weird ones.
Well, I'm surprised this one actually is pretty true to, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay,
yeah,
I mean,
it's
she's all
fairly,
black.
Yeah, it's close.
I like how they just threw like an orange Batman bar at the top. Right on me, just we're just gonna throw this orange thing at the top of a purple cover.
Look, it's like cutting off Robin's head because no one cares about Robin. Whatever.
Well, like Batman's cape isn't cut off, but Robin's is.
Yeah,
I know, right? I know.
But I don't know. That's a fun one. I mean, if you look around, there's a lot of just different versions. I do love the old Batmans. They did some weird coloring choices.
I'm just looking at all these cool.
So this is kind of interesting. Big shout out, real quick, to Robert Fordham. Thank you for joining us. A big foreign guy. The guy's got the market on a couple every foreign copy of what Black Panther issue is that he's got every foreign copy of.
Jungle Action 5.
Yeah, Jungle Action 5 and many other books. But Brian's Comic Garage says, let's see here.
La Prensa's out of Mexico. Los Fantásticos is one of the big ones.
He says La Prensa is where it's at. And then he says that Los Four Fantásticos, only about 25 known to exist. That's very interesting.
Yeah, the UK one's picking up heat. It's definitely getting more than it was. So that one, you know, is definitely selling in the 1,000 to a couple thousand range often now. So different editions closer to the original are selling. You just got to be careful. You got to do research because there's some that are, you know, even modern printings in foreign books that, you know, people try and sell you.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're going to spend big money, do your research.
Yep. That's just about anything, right?
Absolutely. I'll buy anything for 10 or 20 bucks that amuses me just because I may not see it again. But you start talking a couple $1,000, I want to know what I'm getting.
I just want Z to just tell me what to buy. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
I want to be like everybody else on the comic groups and you just tell me what I'll buy, whatever makes me money without no research.
That's like cards.
It's funny. There was another Mexican wedding. Well, 2 Mexican wedding sales. Did we talk about?
I saw Robert share
this book,
a link
which I've shown
a
few times. The 128, the La Prensa 128, the wedding cover.
Is that actually signed?
Yeah, that was signed by Duran.
Ooh.
But there were a couple copies since mine last month. There was a rags copy. I mean, cover, back cover, torn off, complete. But I mean, we're talking beat. Somebody paid $150 for that one. A very good copy just ended today. They had it starting bid at like $15.99. No sale. I thought that was slightly aggressive. I mean, I'm aware what I paid on mine, but it's significantly better condition than any of the other ones out there.
And it's signed, right?
That there's 2 different ones. That's the lower grade one that's signed. I think if he would have started more like 900, it would have got some bids and probably ended it up closer to, 12, 13, 14, 15. He just started too high. Plus, it's a terrible week.
Yep.
It's Christmas week. Nobody's spending discretionary income this week.
This is where you get good deals, though. I mean, like, you remember you got was it Black Cat during this week? A couple years back?
My Chamber of Chills I got this week.
Yeah.
So,
not this week, but a couple years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it's time to buy, not time to sell. I'm interested to see what happens. I'm sure he's going to relist it. I don't know if he's going to go a little lower, if he's going to do what. I do think the market on it's somewhere in that 12 to 14, and 15 was just a little aggressive, or 15.99. So we'll see. Just interesting to see a couple come out of the woodwork. Though I was talking to Matt, the Rags copy was unknown, but all these other copies that have kind of been selling, there's been 3 this year. 2 of the 3 were copies that that group had known of and been kind of sitting on for a while. So it's not like these are new things coming out of the woodwork. It's just people that have held it a while reselling. So we will see.
How many copies do you think there are of that?
I don't care to fathom a guess. I had asked Matt the other day how many had he seen in his, he's pushing 10 years in the niche. He said he's seen between 10 and 12.
Wow, there's speaking of foreigns, so that that Spider-Man foreign, there's one on eBay right now for $800.
Which one?
That foreign Spider-Man. That here, I'll share it.
Z, does anybody in your group chase Russian variants or no?
Oh, that one. Okay.
Okay.
The Japanese Playboy.
Yep, $800.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that the sale or is that an offer?
This is an offer. It's just it's not. I hadn't sold yet. It's just up. I just saw it. I just listed from high to low.
Yeah. Robert had sold one of his for about $300. And I don't think it was that issue, but it's a little high.
Yeah, a little high.
So I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff out there. It's fun to do a little guessing and see where things go. At least it's somewhere you can play for a little less money. You got to do a little more research.
Yeah, Z, does anyone in your group collect Russian comics? I remember I showed off my turtle ones from a while ago.
Somebody was talking about the Russians, and there's some crazy stuff in some of them. A lot of bootlegs. People collect everything. It's just a matter of
I guess
what's your passion,
I guess what I was really trying to ask is there many Russian comic books? Like, is there there's a market, but is there many out there? Is it not even comic books not a big thing over there, or is it just not?
I don't want to feign an answer. I know they exist. I know that there's some that are out there. Somebody has a Russian hardcover of The Crow. That's what came across my kind of like, oh, that's interesting. Yeah. I know there's some turtle stuff out there. I know there's stuff. It's just not the same. It's not the quantity. I think it's higher kind of popularity. Things get out there. You're not going to find a bunch of common stuff. I'm betting there's not as many floppies, a lot more kind of trade paperbacks, a lot of collected editions, that kind of stuff. But it all exists. I know Matt has kind of talked about, there was a seller selling a bunch of old Yugoslavian stuff a while back. He's like, you should buy some because you won't see it. And I didn't pay attention because I just wasn't interested at the time. But it's valid. Some of these countries, when will you see it again listed? Because they're just, so off the grid.
Yeah.
Ben, did you have any pickups?
Nothing.
Slacker.
No, all I've been doing is sending stuff out.
Yeah, I'll show my pickups real quick here. So, started off with the lone comic thing, I guess. This is something that I believe Walker put a link up to, and I kind of waited on it for a little while, and nobody kind of took the bait. But I think I paid really cheap for this, like, I don't know, $10-15 for this X-Men Second Coming variant by Finch. And I'm a huge fan of the Hope character, so I figured I might as well start and grab some of these hard-to-find variants of her now that the character's kind of on the back burner.
Is that issue number 1?
Yeah, issue number 1.
They've got 2. Like, there's 2, right? Was that a 2-parter or just a 1?
I think so. I think this is issue number 2. Sorry.
Okay.
Issue number 2.
I was gonna say because I've got variants for the first issue, and I was like, I don't remember seeing that one before.
Yeah. So, it's the same reason that most people probably picked up the book, right? That everybody was banking on that Hope character. She's a great character. I don't know why they don't use her more, but for whatever reason. And then a quick card one. I don't know if I've showed this before on here, but I was going through some cards to to just look for some stuff that I'm getting ready to send out for grading, hopefully here. And this showed up, and it's just really ironic because it's a Football Heroes card from Upper Deck. Good old Ray Rice. Numbered out of 250 autograph.
That's nice.
I know there's a lot of Ray Rice fans out there that want to get their hand on this card, especially being a Football Hero card. So I figured I'd show this to everybody.
You got that you bought that out of a pack?
Yeah, I got this out of a pack. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. Then I got I ended up getting this bad boy. Austin Matthews Toronto Maple Leafs sweater, which is I'm gonna try and buy one sweater a year. They're super expensive, but I just love that color, and I was never really a big Maple Leafs jersey fan until Matthews ended up going there, so that was pretty cool.
So that's just like an authentic jersey or whatever.
Yeah, they're like $150 or so. I mean, they're not too bad.
Is that a dash cam?
Dash cam.
Well, I'm gonna get ready to put your dash cam to pieces, my friend. So I picked up two of these bad boys. These 4K Canon HFG 350s. Probably my biggest purchases in a long time. Okay. But I kind of got tired of the podcast that I shoot every week. I get tired of having to wait for a cameraman, and if the cameraman didn't show up, we were kind of screwed. So I said, screw it, let's go buy some 4K cameras. So got a couple of these. I bought two of these, and so we should be getting some cool 4K footage coming out here soon. So
did you get a good Black Friday deal or anything?
I got them for about $1,000 a piece.
Whew. Wow.
Yeah. And I got, but the reason I bought them then is because they came with like a bunch of extras. Each one came with a extra battery, tripods, lights, like extra light. Yeah.
So don't let Paul touch those.
Yeah. So that was fun. They came with a bunch of goodies, but we just filmed our first episode with them this last weekend, so I'm waiting to see how they turn out. But
Nick Hart's going to be jealous,
right?
There he is.
There he is. Nice pickup, good price, Brian. I appreciate it, Nick. So, so that was pretty cool, and it's kind of funny because I tell everybody, how nice it is to shoot Flipside because. The way we do it, and it's so much easier than the other show because, and this is going to sound really lazy, but that's what I am, is really lazy. With the podcast, we used to shoot them on the DSLR cameras, but for some reason, those only shoot in 30-minute increments. So, like, if you have to hit stop and start on it, if you forget, you're screwed. So, like, there was a couple of times, I mean, I don't know, you guys have seen how we do the podcast. Like sometimes I'll forget because of external forces. So,
or internal.
Or internal, yeah. So I wanted the last time I forgot to hit record and lost 20 minutes of the guest footage. I said, that's going to be the last time I do that. Let's just buy some video cameras that can record for 2-3 hours at a time. So
do those cameras take SD cards, or they hook and
they take
a hard drive, or what?
Yeah, they're really that's exactly what I mean, Chad. It's cool. They have SD cards, and there's double ones, so you can put 2 SD cards in them at once. So
nice.
And I couldn't believe how much footage 4K takes up. We shot on the one episode. We shot an hour and a half of 4K. Sorry, an hour and 45 minutes of 4K footage, and it was like 15 gigabytes or something like that. So that's pretty crazy. But I don't know. It's just fun. It's fun to have like an extra thing to learn how to do cool stuff with. And when I was playing around with it at home and just kind of throwing the footage up, and I replayed the footage, it looked fake because it looked so good. Like that first time you got the like 4K TVs and you were watching like sports on it, didn't it look fake? Didn't it look that shit look fake?
Yes.
It's
Yeah,
crazy.
Like a video game cutscene.
Yes. Yeah. So
That's good, man.
so yeah,
Congratulations. That's awesome.
yeah, that was pretty interesting. So yeah, it was fun. But the best part about that, and the reason I'm bringing this up, is because you got these little 4K cameras that you're running around with, man. Like you got to shoot like little goofy stuff that you used to shoot when you were a kid and you first got your like little home recorders, and you steal it from your parents' house and go, and your friends would go shoot little goofy shit. So there I am out, in Keith's apartment complex, running around doing goofy shit like I'm a little 13-year-old kid with a camcorder, and here's a 40-year-old man running around an apartment complex looking like a doucheball. So it was fun. It's just fun. It's fun doing that stuff. So yeah, those are my pickups this week. So anyway, you guys
I like how we ramble through like 50 minutes a show and call it pickups.
Right? Yeah.
And we showed 6 comic books and some cards.
Yeah, wow. We talked about 4. You should love this. It was 4 in comic books.
We should just call it Hour of Ramble with an occasional book.
Well, hey, people like it. Look, 19 people like it. I mean something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, Mom.
Chad actually says Star Wars looks super fucking fake in 4K and Blu-ray. So yeah, I agree. But I'm talking about Star Wars. We got to talk about it. I mean, he saw it. Ben, did you see it?
No, I'll just jump off here for a sec. I'll just mute take my earpods out.
Okay.
And then just kind of wave when it's all good.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Can I wave right now?
Yeah.
No, I don't care. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan in the planet. Like, I mean, my cousin's a bigger Star Wars fan than I am. So we can go roll with it. I mean,
I don't think we have to go crazy in depth, but I will say, we kind of talked about it a little bit before. I will say I was pleasantly surprised. I was really, really expecting it to be absolutely, completely terrible, atrocious. Yeah. And it was much better than I expected. Much better. The ending was dog shit. So, it is what it is. The way that they really did Carrie Fisher dirty, and how they played out that character. She was a completely pointless character in the sequels or whatever. There was no reason for her to even be in there, and they did all 3 of those characters really dirty. There was a Han Solo scene that looked really weird.
Yeah.
He looked weird, right? He looked really bad. And then they did this weird CGI thing with Princess Leia that looked absolutely garbage. I never thought I would say that a CGI shot in Star Wars would look terrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but
I have a thought. Is most of the Star Wars people our age just can't seem to bond with any new characters they put out, so they keep trying to throw the old characters at us, but they can't seem to tell a story that we want to hear. So we struggle.
Yes.
Look at the prequels. Other than Darth Maul, there's none of those characters that we love. Maybe you can argue Qui-Gon a little bit being amusing, but nobody ever bonds and goes, those are great characters. We stick to the ones we know, and we get disappointed when they can't give us a story that we're happy with.
Well, yeah. I think it's too is a lot of people hate the girl who's running Star Wars right now,
Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah, she said a lot of stuff like there's no source material, there's no reading material, even though there's like 1 million books and comic books you get source material from. Like, I think I hate to say it, it's and I'll put this in quotation marks, not saying it's good bad. It's like nerd culture. It's like saying of wrestling fans. It's like when people are so rabid and things are so iconic to their childhood, when you start manipulating that, especially when it goes against things or trying to force things for marketing reasons, a lot of people A lot of people hate it and turn on it and stuff like that. That's why, I mean, we're going to talk about Star Wars, but maybe we can talk about, I watched The Witcher. Maybe we can talk about that later. It's very, when you mess with things and iconic stuff, especially when people saw Star Wars 100 times, just like the Beatles and Elvis and all that other stuff. I mean, it's hard to mess with something that was so many people's childhood, you know.
Well, that's why they needed to not mess with those characters. They didn't need to be in the trilogy. Like,
what would you have thought about this movie if they hadn't had those characters? You know what I mean? If the original characters weren't there, let's say
it would have been the same movie.
Let's say Chewbacca's there.
Yeah, Chewbacca was the only one that made it.
He played a part.
Yeah,
and you know the hunt for Luke happened, but everybody else wasn't there. It might have been a whole different thing. It's just how they wove them together didn't work. You know, you and I were talking that Kylo Ren was actually a decent character this movie.
Great. That was one thing. So here's the things that me and Z were talking about earlier. We won't get too spoilery, but I think the Kylo Ren character was, and this is what I was really hoping. They really did the Kylo Ren character really good in this one. The way that the story opened, it was a really good. It was beautiful. The whole scenes with Kylo doing what he was doing and where he went, and that whole thing was awesome and really original. And they made Kylo Ren be dark again, but not being too dark. And that whole thing, and Z, we were talking about this, but didn't get into it. But you were talking about how it seemed like they've really lost their way with lightsaber duels, that you don't see as many of them. But
no, we were watching the Sith with my kids, and we're like, that was part of the thing. You were expecting to see 10 minutes of just amazement.
Yeah. And so, yeah, you didn't get as many of them because, like you said, there's only 2 people that can wield lightsabers, right? In the new one. But they did such a good job with that new thing that they're doing, you know, that I think who was it? Was it Plagius that figured it? Or was it, I forget who it was that figured out how to, through the Force, you know, like go other places. But the whole thing that they have where Kylo and Rey can talk to each other, but then can fight each other at the same. It was amazing. The choreography and the scene switches was beautiful. It was original. And I'm not going to give away one of the cool things that happened in the ending, but that lightsaber duel was badass how they did that. And then that lightsaber duel, that main lightsaber duel between Rey and Kylo was beautiful. So beautiful, but more for external reasons rather than.
Yeah, it wasn't. The choreography wasn't amazing.
No.
You know why I think the biggest problem with the lightsabers is that people are, actors are using their own sound effects and it's messing up with the film, so they have to reshoot it. I think that's why. No, it is. You didn't hear this? So like as Star Wars actors, they would go like, like actually make Star Wars, and they would have to recut it. They're like, dude, stop making so many noises.
I don't know. I was fine. My kids liked it. It was fine. They've kind of lived through it and thought the second one was a bit of garbage too. So the third one was fine. Let's finish the story. Let's tell something. There was enough scenes to be okay about. But you don't have to rush out and do it. It's not going to be a movie that they, talk about for generations, but it's fine.
It was fun to watch.
Yeah. Go enjoy your popcorn and watch it. That's where I'm at.
I mean, the bigger news out of this whole thing, it's not Star Wars related, it's Disney related. Disney's had 80% of the top box office hits this year. 80% Disney.
So here's the problem with that. They're a big corporation now. Yep. If next year they don't have 81% of the box office market, are they going to be considered a failure?
Probably.
That's wrong.
It's called growth, baby. Got to have growth every year.
So, what do we know left in Star Wars? Mandalorian's coming. We're going to finish that. We all like that.
Vader. They're going to do the Darth Vader series.
I missed this. Where did this come from?
It's new. It dropped today. I saw it. So there's
Is it Disney Plus or is it going to be a movie?
It's going to be a series, a Disney Plus series, and it's going to be a live action Darth Vader series. Which, thank God, that's what I want to see more than anything is a Vader series, like the Marvel Vader, the new Marvel Vader comic.
Let's just hope they don't mess it up.
Yes, I hope they don't mess it up. But if they do it like the comic, they're perfect. Vader going and searching for the other Jedis, and him fighting with the Emperor, where he doesn't think the Emperor is right or wrong, or doesn't think he's right in what he's doing, but he has to do it because now he's just this machine. So, and then bringing in Dr. Afra and the two evil droids that Anakin will make or whatever. That's great story.
And we've got the Ewan McGregor Obi-Wan coming.
We got that coming, which will be amazing.
Which I think that's got some potential. We all agree he was a highlight from the original series.
Yeah, great job as Obi-Wan. One of the things that Z said that really, I agree 100% with him, is he said the only thing that we got that was really great, out of the prequels, was Darth Maul, Mace Windu, and what was the third one?
Ewan
McGregor. Yeah, sorry. So those three are the best things out of the prequels, and I agree 100%.
I put the Yoda fight just because it amused me. He hates it, so
I don't like the Yoda fight. I don't like the silly spinning bullshit. But Doc Joe says something. Is Thrawn coming? We didn't. I'm not gonna spoil anything by saying we didn't see him in the new movie, but I don't see how he could not come. He's a really good character. So
somewhere. Yeah. I just think if Star Wars, if they're gonna go big screen again, they just got to cut off and go ahead or behind some generations.
Yeah.
Let's go back or let's go forward. Let's get out of the time zone we're in.
Yeah. Adam, I agree with you. The memes are great.
So let's grab Ben back on this thing. Ben, come back on. You can come back on now. Yeah. So Ben, have you seen The Watchmen yet?
No, he's gonna go back off.
No, I did watch The Watchmen.
I feel like we've got enough time. We can talk some spoilers now, right? It's been
we're good.
Because remember we challenged you to watch them.
I did. I watched all 9 episodes in 2 days.
And
I actually liked the first 3 episodes. Maybe
you hated the next 6.
No, the next 6 actually went into the actual the first 3 were confusing. I'm not going to disagree with that. It was like, what are we even doing here? And then the 6 kind of sunk up to the comics, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Like it flowed better. But I thought it was a good show. It was. I think the last 2 or 3 episodes were probably the best ones out of them. I like the Manhattan. It wasn't boring Manhattan, so I like that. I guess. Like in the movie where he had an hour scene of him just sulking on Maulers.
Yeah, they do a good job.
That was the best. That was a really good part of it. It wasn't him.
I read a lot of articles about the a man walks into a bar episode being just amazing how they captured him as he lives future past all at once, and he's you're seeing him have conversations with different people, and in his mind they're all happening at once. Yeah,
and that fleshed it out really well, because that's hard to come across during the comics too, of especially how it jumps around all the time, from the different timelines of Manhattan, because he's past, present, and future at the same time. It's hard to come across, and they did that really well. I'm here, but I'm not here. I'm here 5 minutes ago, or we're here 20 years ago and stuff like that. It was really good.
I was just I was amazed at how gorgeous that was shot. It was beautiful to look at. Every scene, it was just gorgeous. Everything about it was just. I know some people were not happy with the maybe politicized kind of angle to it, but I didn't
really see political. I
didn't really see that.
They chose an angle and they went with it.
Well, I like how they did that, and they spun it with the Rorschach thing, because Rorschach was probably the best thing that came out of the Watchmen movie, right? Everybody loved the Rorschach character in the Watchmen movie, right? The best thing ever. He was a badass, stuff like that. And they kind of flipped that, and they kind of made it a group kind of thing, which was really cool. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like one character and, him stealing scenes again and stuff like that.
I read an article that said that, HBO is going to end up doing a second season, but they almost wish that they would end it right there. Like,
I mean, I wouldn't blame them if they would. I mean,
I want to. Was it Lindorf?
Lindelof.
Yeah, he doesn't have a second season in mind. So somebody will do one, and it'll probably go poorly. But for something that we all thought would just be potentially dog shit, it was enjoyable.
I liked it.
I mean, does it live up to the original? Probably not. But I mean, the original is up here. This is, I mean, it's comic eliteness. You know, top 3 to 5 stories of all time. So to even come up and be something that you're like, well, this is pretty damn good, I think it's an accomplishment. And, you know, to take some elements from the source material, but not just, you know, crap all over it and just make a mess. I thought it was amazing on that.
It's going to win a bunch of awards.
Oh, it should.
How does it compare to the movie?
I think it's better. I think
the movie was ahead of its time, and if they had not shot it then and did it now, I think it would be better received, but done differently. I mean, effects. I mean, when's that movie made? 15 years ago.
They should have made that movie darker. Like it should have been an R-rated movie.
God, that movie might be 20 years old.
Oh, the Watchmen? Watchmen.
Oh, it was an R-rated movie, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was in college, so it's pushing 20 years ago.
No, it was 10 years, 2009.
Oh,
did you guys?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't that long ago.
Was it?
Yeah, 2009.
It was. I mean, it was when.
It was Zack Snyder.
It was when Zack Snyder was kind of like.
That was right after 300.
Man,
it was right after he got recognized for doing 300.
Yeah.
Did you guys see how much the those Watchmen LPs, or I think they're LPs, are going for?
From Mondo?
I think their 9 Inch Nails was doing a series for the show.
Trent Reznor did the music for the show. Him and
himself?
No, him and his partner, the guy Atticus Ross or whatever. Yeah.
So those are going for crazy money. There's I don't know how many, 3 or 4. So those are. I just saw that in the chat. Someone was talking about how they were through the roof.
It was solid. It tied enough in the original to have some tie to it, and you know, but it didn't just. It was impressive. They took bits and pieces and didn't I don't know, you know what I mean? They just didn't hoard out.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it like you said, it respected it well. It's a good standalone series. I mean, it's nothing to be shameful about. I think it was a great show. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, okay, yeah, you can nitpick. Everybody can nitpick about everything else, but I mean, you know,
there was way more good than that. And I love that the previews, all you see is freaking Don Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And he is such a non-entity after episode 1. It's so awesome that they gave you nothing.
Yeah.
They gave us so nothing to go on, and it was great.
Oh, yeah. I was totally expecting there to be a time change or you know, like somebody's going to go back in time and
we're going to see more of it.
Yeah.
Like, nope. It was great. I mean, there were time changes, but we just threw you a curveball and told you jack shit about this series. Other than this, there's a tick-tock clock.
Yeah.
And
you good. I'm glad they did
for it. Everyone's just no spoilers.
No, so, I mean, and it's relatively short. What, 9 episodes? It's not terrible. I mean,
nope, you can watch it in a week. I mean, I didn't get into it till about halfway through, so it was good. So I could kind of keep pace. I didn't have to kind of wait that long.
I wonder if they'll come out with a box set series for season 1. I'm sure they will, but what I mean is I wonder if it'll sell for anything, if they'll have a steel book or anything.
Why are people still buying DVDs?
Why are people buying steel books, man? I don't know, dude. I watched one thing. You know what? Me and the wife had a discussion. I have on my computer like millions and millions of movies, and I watch it once and never. I should delete them all. I don't even care about them. Like,
some people just like to have it in hand. I don't know.
I've never watched. Out of all the I think I threw away most of my DVDs I have. I mean, like I got a box set of all James Bond movies. Why? I'm never gonna watch them.
Yeah.
No, it is interesting. I like DVD. They're not selling, but man, they sell these collected editions and people buy them. And Paul's flipped a few. I know that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's perplexing. It feels like a media that's so close to dead, but not quite yet.
Hell, man, you're selling freaking baseball cards. Talking about a medium that's almost dead. I mean,
Hey,
stuff's coming back.
Hey, don't hate on my baseball cards,
Or
man.
comics.
Next year, Dino's going to be in a tiny house getting rid of all this stuff.
Don't worry about that.
What were we going to say, Ben?
I was just going to say comics should be. I mean, it should be a dead media,
It should be.
but it's not.
I think it's. I just don't think you'll ever get rid of that human need to hold something and own it, and not be able to have an ebook that Amazon can remove from your Kindle or edit any way they want. You know,
20 years from now, this time of DVDs, people will be like, "Man, those are really hard to find."
Oh yeah.
Well, I wanted to talk to McClay, or I brought it up last time about the original Star Wars cuts. I think I don't know what year.
Like the originals? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like the theatrical release of Star Wars. I think they released them once in DVD format, and now those are, I don't know, $100 or.
Oh no, it never made it to DVD. The original
VHS.
Yeah, VHS was it.
Really? I thought
yeah,
the
Lucas
theatrical cut went to
Luke,
DVD.
Lucas never let it. He never let the original back out.
Correct.
No, I don't think so.
Correct. That is correct.
I think I might have a set of VHSs floating around, but I'm not sure. Are they original cut or are they like the second cut?
Yeah, a lot of people have tried to get all these cuts and try to make a super cut of the original, and they try to do that too.
What was I going to say? If you have the VHS, you should go to one of those VHS to DVD places and get that stuff preserved.
I gotta look. They're at my parents' house. I got to do a dig.
Well, yeah,
Ozzy's not on tonight. He'd tell me Laserdisc. That's actually what's McClay. You're the Star Wars expert. Did the original cut make it past VHS?
Yeah, no, remember because he started dicking with them.
What about Laserdisc? Make the Laserdisc?
Yeah, they made it to Laserdisc. Yeah,
the original cut.
Yeah, I believe so. I don't think so. Laserdisc came out in like the late 80s, early 90s. I don't think so. I think the original cut is only on VHS. And it was only, I mean, like, it's impossible to find. Like, I think Lucas buried that immediately because he said, especially with the original Star Wars, that there were things that he just didn't have the money to do or something like that and hated it. And so as soon as he changed it, he would never let anybody back to like he destroyed it. Like he destroyed all the original copies. Yeah. That's why everybody hates, one of the reasons why they hate Lucas is because he ruined their movie, that he created. I mean, I guess it's his baby, but it became everybody else's baby. And once he started changing stuff, I mean, obviously the most famous one is when Han shooting Greedo, right? So there's not another thing out there where you're going to find, other than those early VHSs, where Han shoots first. So, and then they've changed it a couple things where, like, in the most recent one, they both shoot at the same time to try and calm everybody. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
like
the Disney Plus version.
Yeah. Well, didn't they take Alec Guinness off of Return of the Jedi? They took him out of the end or something like that. It's a young Anakin now instead of.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that was later. Well, I'm just looking at Star Wars. There's a VHS 97 special edition that sold somewhere under 500, which that might be the one I have. I have to dip around and go look. But
I threw all mine away like an idiot.
Yeah, who didn't?
I mean, look at the same thing with the Disney movies. I mean, VHS Disney movies. I mean, same thing.
There was one really crazy price one. I don't know if it's true. Rare original release sealed Star Wars VHS, CBS Fox, red label. It's got 2,300 or best offer.
Wow. How close are we to having graded?
So it's CBS Fox video ones are the ones that are pushing $1,000.
There you go, Ben. There's your first graded VHS. How close are we to have graded DVDs, VHS, albums. I don't know why that we don't, to be honest.
I told you that I had a comic shop owner that was big into the kind of the market, and he left, and his intention was to start album grading, and I just don't think he could get the capital.
I don't know why it's not being done.
The trick was, what are you grading? You grading the cover or the album, and then how do they match up? You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, obviously, if it's sealed, you can't grade the album itself because it's sealed.
It became I talked with him long and hard about it, and I'm not saying not, and who knows, somebody may do it, but you got to grade the album, you got to grade the thing. Do you have them piecemeal together and have a display? Like, there's just so many options on what you could do with that. But yes, of all the media, that's the most interesting. DVDs are less interesting because those DVD cases are so forgiving.
Aren't the
VHS maybe?
I don't know why not to derail us backwards, but why those theatrical cuts of Star Wars aren't just digitally available for people like Pirate Bay or wherever people download movies from?
Because George Lucas kills you. There?
George Lucas has the real force.
He zaps you like Emperor Palpatine.
But I have a sealed LP that I would grade if LP grading was a real thing.
It would. Did you see that? If they would do it right, like if the case were right, you could make it look almost
like to display like the gold records.
Yeah, right. You could make it look great.
They do like a thin or thicker spine and have it open like a 3-pamphlet plastic book. I mean, it'd be thick, but you would have the cover, you'd have each LP clear, you could see both sides.
All I know is that if anybody out there that's listening to the show has an original Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke LP with the original Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke LP came with a rolling paper in it that was like 6 feet long. And if anybody has one of those out there, let me know. I'm your person to sell it to.
Next time on the podcast.
Well, let me go out back real quick.
Somebody's gonna say they have it for Brian to say. Go, what are you talking about? I don't remember that discussion.
Oh man. But yeah, I think that there's, like anything else, man, there's always money in some of those stuff. The CGC started grading the concert posters. Did you see how much that original Grateful Dead, the famous Grateful Dead Roses skeleton?
I remember seeing it. What would it go for?
Oh God, it was ridiculous. Let me look it up just to get the right number. But it was, yeah. Oh yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, I mean, how much plastic? That's a full-size poster, right? And they're put it in the CGC plastic, or am I wrong?
No, they're about 11 by 17 or a little bit smaller.
They're like the smaller posters, not the movie posters.
Yeah,
like the little ones that they used to post like on, like light post or the posts and stuff, and outside the
Skeleton and Roses poster went for $118,000. Look at this. Let me share my screen.
That's still pretty big, though. You know what I mean?
This is crazy, man.
Oh, sure, it is a little bit bigger.
120K.
Yeah, 120K, and this is such a beautiful image. Like, this is one of my favorite all-time images. The Skeleton and Roses poster.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
But to go for that much money, man, and you can see how big it is. I mean, it's not huge. It's the size of a magazine size. 9.8.
Oh well, that's why.
Yeah.
Was it a 9.8 though, or was it a gift 9.8? It looks solid.
So, I mean, that's pretty amazing for a poster to go that much. So, yeah,
God,
you're right.
Friends are like uber embarrassing us.
Well, he brings up Chad brings up that Beatles White Album abortion cover. So I remember my mom telling me about that as a kid, saying that the original White Album came out. It was them like pulling apart this baby doll, and they had to redo it, and that's why it's just a blank White Album, because they had to. They wouldn't let them do that. Actually, I'll pull up the image, and they actually released that image or that album for first couple thousand copies that sold was that original image. So if you guys ever see the White Album where they're pulling apart a baby doll, here, I'll bring up the image.
Man, I mean, I bet Ben C has probably got the knowledge to grade these things.
Yes. Yeah, here you go. Let's do this.
I mean, somebody's going to do records. I don't know why they haven't. I told the guy that was going to do it, I'm like, I got some money to invest. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Oh, because hey, if you're first to market on this,
yeah.
Well, you're not even hitting.
That was my question: is what happened to the CGC does it? He's like, whatever.
You're not even hitting the you're hitting the original people who liked LP, but all that stuff's coming back for the hipsters and stuff too. You go to any like Allied Record Exchange or whatever that brand means to you at your local area, and they have those turntables and stuff out. But
I don't think records have ever died officially. Like they are the medium. Like we talk about cards and comics. I think records have just been one of the better performing items.
Yeah.
They're maybe not as rare. I think that's what they have against them for the most part.
It's a effed up cover, Brian.
But
they've seen that before.
They never go away.
No.
Yeah, I mean, if someone came to my house right now and said, "I'll give you $5 million if you can play this VHS tape," I have no. Oh, maybe we have a VHS player in my basement, maybe. But I mean, like, maybe. But it's just like
I didn't even know Paul was old enough to even have VHS.
I'm glad I have this youthful glow through Ben's old eyes that I look this good. But yeah, like I don't know. If anyone is a Cowboy Bebop fan, like that was an episode where they had.
I was a huge Cowboy Bebop.
They had to find the VHS player.
Cowboy Bebop is one. I mean, I can't call it underrated, but compared to the other, shows like that Cowboy Bebop is so good, man, so good.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they haven't done a live action version of that yet.
I heard that there was rumors, right?
Your man Stan had a comment about records in Chicago. I mean, Chicago's always been a music town, though. I mean, that place it probably never died.
I mean, so VHS deteriorates. That's why there's a big market for VHS to DVD. But LPs don't deteriorate unless you play them over and over and over again, right? I mean, if you just set it there, it's not going to. 30 years from now, it's going to be
proper storage. Yeah,
it's plastic. It's not going to. I don't see how it's going to deteriorate.
It's not, out where Brian lives.
There was that that post on Facebook, Ben, we talked about in a group chat about someone saying every 10 years they should re-slab their
Oh yeah,
that was old CGC.
I don't buy that at all.
I don't get
At this point, you want to keep them in there because people paid more for the old shit.
This is what happens to records out here where I'm from. They turn into ashtrays.
Yeah, I knew you were going to pull that up. That's funny. We have one of those.
It kind of defeats the point, though. It's got a big hole right in the middle.
That's an in-bed ashtray. You lay back and you just use it on a cigarette.
Oh crap!
Shoot. Sorry, I've been in and out. My wife went some last minute Christmas shopping, and the baby was up and down.
No worries,
so
man.
I heard you guys were talking Star Wars and things like that, but Christmas and things is tomorrow. You guys ever get like local comic shop gift cards or any comic stuff from your friends, relatives, wives, etc.? Is it just
nope?
I never for Christmas, but I told you. Did I tell you what got me back into comics?
Well, here's the John Z story. Here we go.
I was I think it's first anniversary's paper, right?
What? Oh,
traditional first anniversary's paper. My wife was getting creative, and she knew I read comics as a kid, and bought me a gift certificate for a comic shop. I didn't go for almost 18 months because I was like, I don't know, I don't want to go to the comic shop. But I hadn't been in one in 10 years, 15 years. And then I finally went and bought some graphic novels, and I slowly kind of got back in. So this whole fucking thing's her fault.
You never let her live that. It'd be she wouldn't let you live it.
I mean, Ozzy and I get each other comics, and my wife one time made a half honest effort to try and get me an AF-15. I mean, she just didn't have the knowledge base, but she went to a couple shops and asked, and was like, "How do I get one?" And they, she's like, "I just couldn't make it happen."
So Doc Joe asks a really good question: are any 8-track tapes worth any money?
That's a great question. I've never heard of an 8-track tape like being sought after, so I like that question because I have no answer.
Is there anything released on 8-track not on vinyl?
Well, that's the good question. So recently, a Pink Floyd 8-track tape for Dark Side of the Moon sold for $500. Dolly Parton 8-track sold for $450. So yeah, I mean, you can find stuff that's worth money. I wonder, like that big time money. I don't know.
Just as is.
Let's say that again. Yeah, they were just as is. Yeah.
Not sealed.
What's that?
Not sealed in boxes.
Not sealed in boxes. No.
I don't even know what an 8-track looked like in a box.
Yes.
I don't either.
Like a NES cartridge.
So here you go. Check these out. Let me go ahead and show you this.
I know my parents had, a box of 8-tracks, but
So
I've never seen one in a box.
This is a website that it's called vinylom.com, it looks like, or vinylom.com, vinylom.com. But they say the most expensive 8-tracks ever sold, and they've got a Frank Sinatra one on here that sold for like $5,000. Look at this, Syd Barrett and the Madcap Laughs. That's kind of cool for you guys that are Pink Floyd fans. That's the original singer of Pink Floyd, guy they wrote The Wall About. And Wish You Were Here. Here's the Beatles' greatest hits, sold for $750, but that's sealed. That's kind of interesting. Look at that.
That is actually what they look like.
Yeah. The Clash, London Calling sells. So yeah, I mean, things sell. Iron Maiden will go. This Iron Maiden one, will, $150, $175 to $500.
So absolutely nothing my parents would own.
Yeah, nothing your parents would own. Ozzy. Well, maybe Elvis. Do your parents like Elvis?
Could be something to look out for at like estate sales.
Yes,
great. I have never seen a box of 8-tracks though. Like in all of my random shit I've seen out in the world and in thrift stores, antique marts. Have you ever seen a box of 8-tracks?
No, never, not once.
It's kind of like Betamax, you just don't fucking see it.
Z, are you getting your kids any comic stuff for Christmas? Any shark covers under the tree?
Probably not. We just buy them it's more of a hunting type thing.
My youngest daughter is into Spider-Man big time. So for our family Christmas party, we got her I don't know, like a 8-inch or 12-inch big Spider-Man doll. And she just lost her mind when she opened that. It was great to watch. Is Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's fun. My youngest is still a little bit in that phase, but he's just not. That's not what he's asking for. It's not what he's doing. I don't do comics I should, but I more just pick them up when I see them. Like my oldest, like I said, reads the piss out of graphic novels, so if I can find them cheap, I do.
Yeah.
And then my youngest loves the sharks. The middle one the only thing he's ever liked is freaking Bloodshot Volume 1. Oh my god.
Yeah, someone's going to the theater soon.
Oh, I told him we're taking him. We're going to the theater, and him and we're going to go watch it. But he's like, that's the only series like he's actually just read. Everything else, So, whatever.
Yeah, I think, and some stuff that people think is worthless, that everyone has, that everyone throws out at the same time, is 10 years, 5 years, whatever, 15 years down the road, everyone's looking for. Not to, turn anyone that's listening into a hoarder.
I'm keeping everything.
That's right.
But it's whatever we don't think we need is what we should have kept.
Yeah.
No, it's funny. My wife's mother, they're in town, so they're visiting, and they have in-laws here. But Joyous, she still talks about how her mother threw away her baseball cards. She's like, I had a Mickey Mantle rookie, and I'm like, Why would you have one? And but it's a story I've heard at least 20 times. I had a Mickey Mantle rookie, and she threw it away.
Yep, that same thing happened to my pops. He was taking me over to my grandparents' house to go get them, just give them to me. And when we got there, my grandmother was like, "Yeah, we threw those away a while back."
My dad had a Gordie Howe rookie, bunch of rookies like that, man, and just parents threw them away. Went to college, came back home, gone.
Hey, it could have been like you could have been lucky like that one guy, what was in Indiana or whatever, that found the box in his attic as he was getting ready to sell his grandpa's house or whatever, and it was all T206s and stuff like that. It was like the highest grades ever.
Both Cobbs, the red and the green.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Which on a side note, the third leg of the David Hall collection is actually coming up here in January, which for those who don't know who David Hall is, he was a founder of PSA, which is the grading company for sports cards. And he had the most complete T206 set ever. But then he got fired from PSA last year. So he's he's piecing out all those T206s, and this is the third leg.
Why did he get fired?
I think he's still on the board. I think they just fired him as president or whatever.
What are you guys talking about? The trimming scandal.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
Well, and maybe he got fired because of that. I don't know.
Okay, we can talk about the trimming scandal. So I sent and McClay's been all over this. I don't want to steal McClay's thunder. McClay has been all over this.
Go for it, brother. You're good.
I sent a link out, and a new suspect still hasn't been proved guilty. I want to throw it out there, innocent but proven guilty. Is a former NFL player who actually is
he was a Colt, right?
Yeah, Mavis or something like
that. Evan Mathis. Yeah. So he played pro football. He made a ton of money. He has been incriminated by certain people on the blowout card forums as a trimmer,
and it's proven.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They have, and I'll throw this link to everybody.
It's great. It's great.
The trimmer. What a trimmer is. So for people who are just comic book only people, it's the same thing like in cards as in comics.
Trimmer.
Except probably simpler.
Yeah, a lot simpler. So I don't really want to out this guy as put his okay. So basically, I'll just do a little bit of screen sharing, but I won't put his face out there because I think
I'll out him. Shit.
Okay. So basically, trimming looks like this. So basically, this card it's about a 6, right? So basically, it has a lot of like edge wear, right? Then magically, it goes away because
and he proves it's the same card due to like irregularities in the card that are still there.
Correct.
Yeah.
So you can see like there's a little bit of damage here, kind of corn states with this.
Now I'm going to look at both of those, and I'm going to tell you. So they're saying that they just trimmed the top.
Well, they're saying no. They're saying that they trimmed the red sides. So
okay. Because I want you to look at the bottom right hand corner over right there. There's the new one. There's no color touch. And here, there's several areas of color touch all along that bottom edge, and that are not there on that PSA 6.
Correct. So yes. So
what they added color touch to it?
No, look at the back. Look at the back. The back has a better. You can see the.
I'm not saying that but I'm trying to say that all of a sudden it went from a 6 to a 7.5, but added somewhere. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not. I can tell you that I can tell you this. In all my years of dealing with cards, especially that age of cards, there were printing imperfections that showed up on many cards from the exact same spot.
But wouldn't that be ingenious then to trim one edge that would take your grades
if you
down?
Trim both, I can tell you if you trim both edges of a card, it's going to make it significantly smaller. You can pick it up.
God, Kyle, you're killing me tonight.
That's Chad.
Oh, Chad, Jesus.
But I mean, wouldn't that make sense to trim the one edge, the larger edge, and then add some of the other edge to get a?
But you can't add.
Yeah, you can't add it.
Add the touch or whatever that. I don't know.
No. So what happens is he's basically making a sharp corner and removing most of the edge wear. And the thing that was crazy, because me and Stein have talked about this ad nauseum, is that we would thought there'd be a laser or something crazy. The guy's using a paper cutter you get in the office, and just, I mean, that's crazy to me. I mean,
how did they determine that he was using that kind of a trimmer?
They caught him buying them
on eBay. Hold on one second. I don't want to out this guy.
Like a guillotine style.
Yeah. Yep.
That doesn't make any sense because those always bend paper.
Right.
Even like a
right there. So he bought an Ingento GT paper trimmer, 18-inch model, missing guard or whatever. So he bought that.
I mean, I don't know.
Maybe his wife's a teacher, Dino.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, I'm not accusing the guy. I'm just saying this is what the sleuths out there found. So this guy, Quest for Cards, bought this paper trimmer. So that would be like me buying a bunch of color touch tools on my Forgotten Five Comics account. Why would you do that?
Yeah, I'm not saying that there's not trimming done. I'm not saying that they don't.
So let's just say, didn't we say though he sold some of the pretty big cards in the market?
Yeah, so he sold a 52 mantle for $2.8 million on Heritage. He sold a Tom Brady rookie for $400,000.
The Tom Brady rookie.
Tom Brady rookie, yes. So I mean, now the thing that people are really having problems with is Probstein and is it PWCC?
Yeah, Probstein and pre-war card collector.
So he's buying these cards and he's trimming them and getting them retouched or regraded or whatever, then using them as a third-party host. And the bigger concerns is that Probstein and PWCC know that they're being trimmed and they're selling them anyways as passing them off as untrimmed cards. That's the scandal, kind of, right? In a nutshell. Kinda.
Yes, and not only that, there's an even bigger one, and I'm going to steal your thunder on your screen share here real quick, Dino, because there's this article I saw by the sportscardradio.com where they talk about they have a anonymous whistleblower from PSA, and it starts off really interesting, and it says, every grader that works for a third-party grader signs a non-disclosure agreement. Every third-party grader operates like a criminal organization masquerading as a business. The fraud is so commonplace in daily activity that it has become just regular business. From the top down, everyone knows what's going on. The fraud didn't start when the card was handed around the conference room table under the watchful eye of David Hall, asking each person what it should be graded. Everyone agreed, fully knowing it's a fraud, replying it's an 8. And he's talking about basically one of the most famous frauds is of course the Gretzky McNall Honus Wagner rookie, which forever everybody was thought it was this most beautiful T206 famous Honus Wagner card, but a couple years ago the guy who trimmed it came out and said he trimmed it, and PSA knew it the whole time. So that's probably why David Hall had to step down. Here's of course a picture of David Hall. It says here.
It looks like the Dos Equis guy.
This guy says, no, I'm afraid the fraud was there at the inception, and also so were the trimmers. And this website names all the trimmers, and they've, like Dino was showing, this is how they out the trimmers.
So it's not just TL206 rare, like old cards. This is a 97 Skybox that's been called out, I guess, for being trimmed.
Well, I mean, remember there was a scandal with the comics where they stopped accepting submissions from this restorer because CGC's like they weren't catching it.
Well, I mean, sorry, go ahead, Paul.
No, I just want to ask a blanket question, I guess, to Stein and you and McClay, and maybe for comics too, but for cards specifically. If a card is trimmed, do you guys think it should even be awarded a grade because of all this, or should it just get like a NG?
That's what it gets. It basically all it says on if they do it, it will say on the thing, it'll say altered. It doesn't even give a grade. It just says
send it back to you in the same thing you send it with the piece of paper that's usually in the red piece of paper in there. but they print it out to where it says no grade.
Yeah, I will.
So they won't even encapsulate it. They'll just send you a paper saying, "No, sorry, SOL."
Yep.
I've got and I will find it at some point when I get into my. But I've got an '84 Fleer update Clemens that is that's a counterfeit that I didn't know was a counterfeit. So I sent it to PSA and it came back counterfeit. But I still have it. I still have it in.
Well, I mean, is it like comics? So you send it in enough times and it's gonna, sneak by?
Or do they blacklist you? That's what I was going to ask.
They should be able to detect it every time.
So this is.
Wait, how do you say that? Because I mean, we talk about how cards are cut uncentered and defects.
It's not the centering though that's the problem. It's
the size.
The size. I mean, it's been basically a defined size for 50 years.
So this is a good one though, because this is actually a good picture. And the problem with this form right now, or this post, is some of the pictures are real blurry, and then you're trying to move on to the other picture, and it's like crystal clear. This one, like, I mean, you see a lot of edge wear there, right? I mean, and all of a sudden you see edge wear in this corner, and then it's just magically gone.
But here's the thing. Okay, so
is it trimming or is it color touch, right?
Yeah. See, here's the thing: is PSA their cases are kind of like the inner wells of a CGC case. They don't put them in a sleeve. They're not in a sleeve. They're just sitting in the case.
Free floating.
So they slightly can move, but you can see on the picture on the right, you can see that the area where the edge of the thing is. Okay, well it's virtually on top of the card. So if that's trimmed at less than probably 1/32 of an inch. I mean, you can't trim a card. You can't trim anything with a paper cutter at 1/32 of an inch. I mean, it's basically the thickness of a piece of paper. It's on and PSA cases are, I mean, every one of them are the same. So if a card is trimmed, you can tell because it's going to be short inside the case.
No, and I agree with that. That's what I said. I'm not saying, I mean, I was talking to my cousin about this too. He said there's multiple people who are like trimming cards and stuff like that. But like you said, I come from a land of manufacturing. That's what we do. I mean, and I know guys with laser cutters and stuff like that. I mean, 1/32 of an inch. I mean, that's like, it's like you're talking like human hairs now. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, you gotta think the thickness of your blade's gonna take off so much. You know what I'm saying? And then. I mean, what are you practicing on? A million different cards? Because a lot of, I mean, what are you buying? 67 tops cards, and you're gonna cut them. It's like pressing, right? Different things for different time periods of paper and cardboard and stuff like that. I mean, and plus, like Paul was saying, when you have that cutter and you're putting it on that thing, it's gonna bend more than cut. I mean, you could have the sharpest blade on the planet. I mean, I've seen it, like, it's like a dull knife, right? But still, I mean, it's.
God, we had a paper cutter at my old job that would always cut at an angle, no matter what.
Well, I had one where it's not the manual guillotine style that we have, that one obviously, but we have one where it actually locks in the piece of paper, and you press it down and it slams down, and then it has a little like a Y side, like a Y thing, and it just like you can cut that way, like straight down, like zip, like a like an X-Acto knife style, and it cuts it. So
I don't know. Let's be honest. Trimming is there. Whether this guy did or didn't, how he did it, I mean, a guillotine seems pretty tough.
Yeah, I mean, this one's crazy too, because it's like there's like an angle. There's like a weird angle on this card. I don't know. These are just the pictures I'm showing. So there's a weird.
When I got back into comics, I told you I met some guy at an auction that sold me some books, talked to me about some shit, but he was old school. 60s collector, and he's like, oh shit, we used to do stuff all the time. He's like, the first pressing jobs he did was on Golden Age books with an iron.
Yeah.
Spread the book out, flatten it all out, and then redo it the staples and fold it, and color. He's like, color touch was just
a thing
all the time.
Yeah.
So
like this one's signed. This one, I don't know. I mean, this one looks kind of weird. Like it's got a little curvature to it, and then all of a sudden it doesn't have curvature to it anymore.
Yeah, but again, I mean,
I don't know. I mean, that's what people are saying. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know. It's
Show the spots that they're saying are the same, the yellow spots.
Oh, yeah. So let me see if I can zoom in a little bit here. So they're saying this yellow spot here where it has this like
the little
double,
white
double white dots,
and then it still has a couple of white dots in there. I mean,
hold on, scroll. Can
scroll
you make
back
that?
up.
It doesn't
Yeah.
even look the same.
I mean, the one on the bottom's got a bunch of them. The one on the
took a little
top,
bit off.
Yeah,
You
they're
can
not
see
the
they're fuller now.
yeah, but it's still right on. Again, the card is right on the PSA case. I mean, you can't. The amount of trimming that you would require to get rid of all those spots. I mean, you're going to have to cut off quite a bit.
But that's the thing; they wouldn't get rid of all of them. They would just get rid of most of the stuff to bump the grade one grade.
Yeah, they're not trying to go from a.
They're not trying to go for broke.
A 9 or a 10. They're trying to go from a 4 to a 5.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, but okay. So which card is this? The Seaver?
yeah, the Seaver rookie.
Okay, so this went from what, a 7.5 to an 8?
To an 8.
Okay,
Yep.
so you're talking it went from maybe a $1,200 card to maybe a $1,600 card.
So that's the thing, though.
You're saying that this dude
Yep.
would risk $1,200 to make $600?
Well, he wasn't trying to make 600. He was trying to get it in a 9 or a 10, which could have gave him a couple thousand.
I don't know. I mean,
So like this. Well, look at this one. So 7.5, right? We'll even go here, right? So this
He
is
made $1,000 off of that, Ben.
right there.
He made $1,600 off of that.
Well, you also
0.5
on a card though. You can do stuff fast. So if you're doing 20 cards a week,
yeah. But again, you're risking a $1,200 card that if it's detected, you get zero. You just lost $1,200.
But
so
you can sell that raw.
For what? For an altered card, you might get $100.
Yeah, but for a really nice raw Seaver rookie, you think you're not going to get?
Well, again, you could dupe people and not tell them that it's trimmed.
well, I think that's the thing is if you're going to be scandalous, you could do it.
I guess. I mean, I guess I wouldn't.
And again, on baseball cards, it is not nearly as hard as comics.
Yeah, and let's go.
If you were good at trimming and you could actually figure out how to do the 32nd of an inch without being detected,
I'm just
making $300 a pop times 10 is worth the risk.
So let's look. I mean, 6 to 8. Let's just look at grade comparisons. 6 to 8. I mean,
I'm just not seeing that the size is different.
That's just a 5 and a 5. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know, Ben.
It doesn't look like the size of the cards are any different. So how are you? I don't understand.
I mean,
he's taking off such little amount.
That bench. I mean, it doesn't look the size of the card is identical.
Well, the problem too is like you have your photo proportions are in 2 different sizes. Too.
No, I'm not. I'm just talking about. You look at the PSA case, the inner well.
Oh, I understand. You would see a gap.
You would see a gap. There is no gap. It's there. It's the same as on both. So if it's the same and the PSA cases are the exact same, which they are because they're mass produced, there's no. It's not the same card.
No.
I
don't know. I have no idea. I just brought this up. The guy he was even commenting. The guy who I think is getting accused, right, Ben, in this, was commenting on the forum.
Yeah. He was.
It was crazy.
Yeah. So I mean
but he's also the guy who sold some really big cards, so that was where it probably gets crazy.
And I mean, him doing that's a little fishy. But
like on these little cards, it wouldn't matter. But on some of those big boys, a half a point is.
I mean, when you're selling a Mano for $2.8 million and you're attached to a trimming scandal, that's bad for business, bro.
Yeah, I'm, and it's not that I'm defending PSA on this, but I can tell you that if you put 2 cards, I mean, if I take 2 cards that are sitting here in a stack, and these are brand new, 2 commons, and you put them nice and tight.
Yeah,
they line up.
They line up. Okay, so, and this is kind of how you would do it in any.
Yeah,
I'm sure they've got a square. You put it in it, it fits or it doesn't.
But again, that's what this PSA worker, this guy who wrote this letter to this thing, is a PSA employee.
So,
right?
Well, hold it. So they've had one guy. Again, I'm not defending PSA at all.
No.
But they basically had one guy anonymously send a letter.
Well, the reason he sent it is because, so what Dino's talking about is right now in the blowout forums, these guys are outing.
And this thread is 24 pages long. I think we showed it at like 10 pages. It's already at like
multiple threads per each trimmer has their own thread. Okay. And so there's multiple trimmers, and this guy basically writes a letter. I mean, listen to what he says about, so he says, here's Gary Moser. He's one of the first guys they caught trimming. He said, Gary Moser was there in the beginning at PSA, but he wasn't a trimmer then. He did have a vision, though. He thought grading was the way of the future and was one of the original customers at PSA, I believe customer number 3. The PSA business struggled for many years to take traction with collectors. It wasn't until the combo of the great home run race between McGuire and Sosa in '98 and the Kenny Golden pumping his product on shop-at-home television did the craze take off. The need to find so many high-grade cards to sell in mass quantities led to the first explosion in professional trimmers. Originally seeing the corruption, Moser was upset and sold off his entire inventory of PSA cards. Delusioned by PSA, he began selling high-grade BCCG and other junk brands for the same price. He was banned from PSA because of this, since he was still advertising as a PSA authorized dealer. A year or so later, Gary came back around and was, quote, on board with the program about trimming, and there were other third-party graders starting to sprout up. Still, Gary did not set up on Long Island for over a decade because he had burned so many people out there selling junk cards. So basically what he's saying is that PSA has been in on the trimming since day one. I'm not saying that's true. If that's the case and there's more people that come out and there's more proof, just think what that could do to the hobby.
It would end it.
Yep.
Well, just think, what would it take to kill PGX? A couple of accusations. And PGX is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just where I was looking at
let's be honest. What would it take for CBCS to die?
That they haven't done to themselves already?
One scandal.
Yeah.
One big scandal.
A big scandal, a proven scandal.
I mean, yeah, they would have to be promoting a counterfeit.
I mean, I'm not.
27 or something.
I have nothing wrong with CBCS. Barack's a great guy. I'm just saying, just think of as a company for CGC to pounce and just tarnish the shit out of them.
It would be something with the signatures because that's what.
They said too. Look at this, dude. They said, look at this shit. This is, I guess, the sub list of trimmed $10 to $50 cards. So it's not even just high. I mean, he's being accused again. I'm just saying accused, right, of trimming $10 to $50 cards too. I mean, it's not like he's just trimming high dollar cards and that's it. You know, I mean.
Well, I can tell you that and I'm sure there's people that are. I mean, if this is even a thing, it's going to be being looked at by the government. But
I would in the feds. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, you would have to. There'd have to be some proof. Otherwise, honestly, I've seen too many accusations on the internet about all kinds of things, and they can even add 30 different people that are accusing the same thing. Most of the time they're anonymous, so you don't even know if they're real people. They could just be trolls.
Or they're internet sleuthing. And I mean, I just watched this. We're talking about internet sleuthing.
Nice comment, my man Stan. Your man Stan.
My man Stan, your man Stan.
Yeah.
I
mean, what one grader affects the grade of a book, a 9.6, 9.8, 9.6, 9.4, he says a 10. I mean, one guy has an opinion and we base hundreds of dollars on it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, internet sleuthing is another thing. I just watched this documentary on Netflix. It's like you don't F with cats, and basically it was this horrible person. I don't know if McClay, did you read it? Did you see it? Yeah. So it's basically this guy.
Fascinating.
He takes this horrible video of two kittens. I don't want to get too graphic about it. Two kittens in like a vacuum sealer and like vacuum seals it and kills both these cats.
Oh.
And it goes like viral. And obviously everybody loses their mind and they're trying to find out who this cat killer guy is. Well, these two, it focuses on two people who are like, one's like, they're like regular people. One person works at like some kind of casino data analyzer person, and somebody else is some other person. And they spent their life goal, like every waking minute for like a long time, trying to find this guy. And he killed like other dogs, and then he finally, it was basically a serial killer what it came out to be. He killed like a person, you know, and none of the people like, you know, believed them or took action, and somebody died because they didn't take action. But I've also seen on the other side of internet sleuthing, I'm sure everybody's seen it, is people go out and out people saying this is the guy and they're not the guy, and they ruin that guy's life or a person's life. So
yeah,
there's a trippy, slippy edge on that kind of thing. So, but like you said, blow up cards, I mean, blow up forums, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you know, if you're submitting hundreds, it's same thing with CGC. Are they going to catch everything? No one can.
No, but they kicked out a guy for submitting so many freaking
fakes,
restored comics. Like they were like, you keep sending us restored ones, you're out. They banned some people, and I think somebody said it here. It was the Everts.
Yeah.
Who put that up there?
Yeah, somebody put that up there about the Everts.
Brian's Comic Garage. Thank you. I remember the scandal. I just couldn't remember the name, but yes, they just said you're done because they were submitting so many books. Some of them were so well done it was hard for them to detect, but you know they were just trying to push so much through the fucking system.
It's scary. I got to be honest. It's a little scary to having jumped back into the card hobby and enjoying it. I'm not getting cards graded, so it's a different. But like Ben said, that's what's making the hobby grow so much is the value, right? That people are getting out of these graded cards. So it's scary, man. It's really scary because, like Ben said, it could destroy the hobby.
Oh, I mean, think of the millions and millions and millions of dollars put into especially vintage cards, and if they all of a sudden are now trimmed, I mean, gosh, I mean, it's almost like it's kind of like everybody finding out that all those baseball players are taking steroids.
Yes.
Like everything that they've done is kind of like, what do we do with them now?
Yeah,
they happened, but they were, I mean, like these cards are real, but they're trimmed.
Even
so now what do we do with them?
Even Darren Rovell, the guy who's like the sports magnet mecca news reporter, he even tweeted that, popular card message board poster alleges former NFL player Evan Mathis, who has emerged as among the biggest winners of the hot vintage card market, is trimming his cards. I mean, so it's getting it's getting spotlight. I mean,
well, the funny thing is the former quote unquote CEO of Leaf was doing the same thing. He's one of the outed trimmers. So I mean, it's crazy how big it's gotten. If it's
like you said, it's about money, right, and greed. I mean, I obviously I would never do anything like that, but I mean, if I had,
you can't not trust a man with a mustache like that.
That is true. But I mean, like you said. Like Brian said, if I knew I had a Trout rookie and it was a 6, and I knew if I could trim it out and get a 9 or a 10 on it or whatever, I mean, probably for a 6 to be other defects, but if I could go like 9 or 10 or something like that or 8, I mean, if I'm going to jump from $500 to $3,000, I mean, it's like pressing books. I'm not saying we've had this long story of old school people saying pressing really shouldn't happen because it should be just the book the way it is and no pressing and stuff like that, but pressing would not be alive in comics, right? I mean, you're improving the book.
Pressing is kind of a weird unicorn of resto of we've all agreed we're okay with it.
Yeah. No, I understand.
Because it doesn't ultimately modify the book other than straightening the paper.
You could get the same results from just sticking it on your desk and putting encyclopedias on it for the next 5 years.
Probably not the same, but similar.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
So
we've all agreed it's too hard to detect. We're done with it.
Correct. But I'm
probably that thing. If we could find a laser that could cut a card a 64th of an inch,
you know what's
we
funny?
couldn't detect it.
You know what's funny? You know what I should do? I got a guy who's a laser cutter guy who bought a brand new state-of-the-art machine. I should send him a couple cards and see if he can cut a 64-inch and send them back to me. I can do it.
Just to see what it does. I would like to see what it does to the edge.
You want me to do it? I'll call him.
That's some good TV there.
Okay, I'll call him. I'll send some crappy base cards. You want to do like 2019 update base cards as crappy cards?
No, I want to see some vintage cards too.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can send you some old cards.
Yeah,
Let's do some vintage cards. That would be fun.
Send me some crap.
This is some TV, Dino.
What I do, brother? I know everybody. So I'll call him. I'll see what he says. I mean, if he charges me, I don't care. I just like to see him. What do you want to take off, Ben? Like a 32 and an inch?
What's the smallest he can do?
That's what I'll say. What's the smallest you can do? And just send them back to me. Now, or I'll pick them up. I don't care. He's in.
Just make sure you take before pictures and
maybe you can even videotape it.
Yeah, just send me some cards if you want to send me some. I know you got a ton of cards, Ben. Whatever. Just crappy, crappy cards. And
hey, I'll be honest. I would be okay even buying a few low grade graded cards, send them to you, have them crack them. See what he can trim off the edge, and I'll send him back.
Okay. We'll do it for science.
Here's another, just before we call it a show, here's a funny thing along with the whole card scandals that happened in July. So Walking Dead had a card set where they had, the hits were autographs on people. And there was a Jeffrey Dean Morgan Negan autograph in there. And the card came out and somebody posted that they pulled it. And Jeffrey Dean Morgan came out on Twitter or Instagram and said, I'm about 87% sure that's not my signature. No, more. It's kind of close, but there would always be a Y in Jeffrey, always. And the transition from a D to Morgan, wrong. He's like, F's are also fucked up. Yeah, that's forged. People suck. And that's coming straight from Topps.
Huh. I don't even know what to comment there.
Right?
He would know he signed cards, right?
Yeah, and he would know his signature.
And it's on a sticker too. Let me get my little bit out.
Did they not like his signature?
I don't know. I mean, basically, and it's just like everywhere else. You get a big sheet and it's a bunch of stickers on it, and you just basically keep signing until you run out of stickers. You know what I'm saying? Then they take those stickers and put them on the cards. I mean, it's not rocket science.
But why would he call them? Why would he call him out? He makes money for that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's funny because Beckett reported on this, and it says here, the most surprising part here is that Beckett picked up the story. They are typically pretty soft on manufacturers, but here they are informing collectors of the mishap. Topps has been called out, and they are yet to respond. So it'd be interesting.
Are we sure that's at his real account?
Yeah, he's got. Well, it looks like it.
You got the blue check mark, brother.
Yeah.
That's peculiar.
Yeah, very peculiar, man. So,
maybe he's just trying to buy all his own cards and then trying to make it more rare. No, I'm joking. I don't know.
It says here, I paid 50 pounds for a boxed. I paid 50 pounds for a boxed auto, any random auto, and I'm so happy I got Jeffrey Dean Morgan. And that's where Morgan responded. I'm about 87% for sure that it's not. And then he says, and the guy asks him, how do you even remember details about your signature? Mine changes every time I do it. Jeffrey Dean Morgan said, I just know the flow of it. It can get sloppy, but when I do Topps cards, I try to take my time a bit more. Generally, I sign the entire name. I'd never sign Jeffrey Dean Morgan. And then somebody put the wrong sticker on the card. That's Jeffrey Demons auto, as a joke, maybe, I guess. Demons doesn't have a Topps autograph, but he did sign for Cryptozoics Walking Dead Season 2 in 2012. Here's what his signature looked like. So
that could have happened.
Yeah. Morgan has signed several cards for Topps in the past, with the vast majority being on card. So yeah, they could have done that. That's interesting.
I mean, so it'd be like if I hired Z to sign a bunch of cards and say he signed them when we did a contract, and we'll say I'm going to put them on this amount of cards, and then when the cards come out and be manufactured, like we're not going to do Z's signature. they could. I don't think they shred those things. I'm sure they probably, oh, go find these, and they're probably in the box at all the other ones, and somebody could have mistakenly grabbed a couple and put them on there, and thinking, oh, that's Jeffrey Dean Morgan, and it looks like Z. They have.
I mean, if we want to talk fucking signatures and shit, we talk Jack the King Kirby, isn't it? Isn't he the one whose wife supposedly signed a shit ton of his?
That's interesting.
Did I ever
right? It is Kirby, right?
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you guys the story about when I had my card store of how I got involved with getting cards signed that went into the packs?
No.
So, oh gosh, what was the company? It was like in 2000.
A scoreboard, maybe?
It was I can't remember who it was. It's Collector's Edge or Collector's
Edge. Yeah.
Something. I don't remember what it was. Anyways, there was a rookie back then. It was he was a wide receiver out of Tennessee. I can't remember. Maybe
I know who you're talking about.
Maybe T. Martin or something like that.
Yeah.
And his agent was Eddie Brown, or not Eddie Brown. He was a former Bengals wide receiver.
I was going to say Woods.
But right here in Cincinnati, and so they needed. They sent what they did was they just basically set it up with a local card dealer, and they sent me a box of this card unsigned and said, "Hey, you need to go down and meet." It was Tim McGee. Tim McGee was his agent, and you need to go meet with his agent, and he will be there, and he will sign all the cards, and then you will stick them back in the box, and you will send them back to us. And that was the process. But I mean, there's nothing to say that. I mean, it was a big, long box. I mean, I guess in reality, I could have taken some, or, I basically just kind of just sat there and watched it happen. I mean, I didn't really do anything.
Weird,
So that was kind of the process. Now, I guess if there was multiple people in the room, I mean, he was signing, 500 at one time. I mean, it's very easy. If his hand started hurting, he could have just been like, "Hey, sign this for me." And if the person who was authenticating them wasn't really paying attention, somebody else could have signed it.
They could have. I mean,
and that was on card at the time too. So I mean, it was just kind of a weird process of how they actually get those. They don't and that was back, like I said, that was back in 2000. They may do it different now, but
yeah, that's nuts.
So we'll do a little research.
Peerless Price. It was Peerless Price, not T. Martin. Peerless
Price. Yep.
Peerless Price.
Yeah. So we'll do a little research. This one ought to be interesting. Maybe this is the podcast the episode that'll gather thousands and thousands of views, maybe.
Or 32.
Or 32 views. So what we'll do is we'll try to get some cards. I'll take decent photos. I'll try to do the same like Ben. I'll try to do the same photo. Like I'll use my little stand so it's the same. It's not zoomed in or zoomed out or something of that nature. Try to get.
Right. And the big plus is we know Dino has no vintage cards, so
yeah. I mean, I just threw away a box of 90s, 80s, or 90s base crappy cards from like the NHL. So, no, I don't have too much old stuff. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
So we want to let you guys know that we have episode 100 coming. We are probably going to take next week off for the holidays, and then episode 100 will be the following Monday. So keep your eyes open for that. We got some fun stuff coming, and we are going to be asking for audience participation in the future. So look into that a little bit more than we're doing. Other than
I'm
that,
sure we'll probably be doing some giveaways.
Yeah,
we'll do some giveaways. We'll come with some. We'll post it on some IG, some giveaways for the 100.
Yeah.
And Dino's got that mustache. He's going to be the Geraldo of cards. Geraldo Rivera breaking shit open.
Yeah, he's going to make the big reveal, the empty tomb.
Yeah. I will. I'll say. Well, it's funny because, and I guess I'll preface it in saying this is a commercial. Like real deal laser. I mean, you can do like, I mean, it's as big as, I don't even know. It's probably 20 feet long, this laser. I mean, it's not like some kind of rinky dink little laser. I'm kind of nervous to see if it just blows the card up.
Burns it.
Let's just from a professional standpoint see what happens.
Yeah, because what's going to happen is, just so everybody knows how a laser works, you got to control the speed. Laser, freaking laser
on the shark. We
like
want laser beams on the shark.
Laser beams on the shark. So basically, what you have to do is you have to slow down slow it down, because if you go too fast, obviously it's just gonna mess it up, especially on steel. Or you have to and you have to get the right size of the diameter to go the right way too. So I mean, it's gonna take them a couple tries, I bet. I mean, that's why we're gonna do a bunch of them, because if you can, Ben, if you give me a bunch of, if you give me some of the same card, like maybe 5 of the same card, because he's gonna have to do a couple test runs on stuff too. It's not gonna be,
We'll figure something.
Yeah. Oh, try foil cards too. Yeah, we can do that. I got some crappy foil cards probably running around. I mean,
92 Bowman have foil around the edge, gold foil.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we'll do it all.
And they're all off centered. So
he loves cutting things for me. He's funny. He bought this new thing. He's like, yeah, we'll cut anything. So we'll
cut anything.
Dude, he was loving it, dude. He made like these little like tools, you see the tools that have like the 6-in-1 little credit card tools. He makes those. He can make those things. I mean, it's crazy what this laser can do. But yeah, it's gonna be. Hopefully, it's some
deep hitting shit here.
When I can put my good resources to work, ultimate concierge. What can I do? That's me.
And you could honestly probably even try it on a comic. See if you could. If it's got a.
Well, the thing about a comic is you can see, because the edge is on a comic, they shouldn't be straight.
I'll go buy a box.
On a vintage comic, they're usually cut and then put together. So that's a sign of trimming, is if it's too straight.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. That's actually, it's funny you say that, because one of the books that our buddy Chuck sent in, if you guys remember correctly, one of the first books he sent in, that first appearance of Supergirl, came back trimmed. And Sean saw it right off the bat. He even said, yeah, I think this is going to come back trimmed. And sure enough, he was right. I mean, it was just too perfect.
It's amazing what Sean can see. It's just like,
dude, I've seen Sean see stuff on a cell phone that I can't even dream of. And I'm like, what?
That's why, it's funny. I always laugh at him, because every new iPhone that comes out, he gets it. It's so he can zoom in a million times.
Dude, I remember Trey and I would look at books, and both of us are like, yeah, that's pretty fucking nice. And we sent it to Sean, and we're like, oh fuck, we missed all of that.
He's like, ding, there's a ding, there's a ding, there's a ding. Oh, yeah, it's hilarious. Because what's funny, on some, like at least my iPhone too, at least on my comic shop I used to, is you could click on the actual photo and then you could zoom in on the photo. I think Google phones, you can't do that. I think because Tony's phone, again, it's probably a brick from the Great White North, but he couldn't zoom in. So he's like, how the hell are you guys seeing it? I'm like, yeah, you can like zoom in on iPhones. Like,
well, I used to be able to see, and I thought it was pretty good, and Sean had just fucking blown me away.
Oh, we just laugh. It's funny. So, all right, boys. Look at this 2-hour episode of trimming cards and Star Wars and whatnot. This is good. Foreign comic talk.
Jesus, we went all out.
But before we end it, I'm going to leave off with this. So you guys, Dino knows this. You guys know this. I cannot sit around and not opening a box of cards if they're sitting there.
You want to do a couple?
No, I don't.
I don't. He says
because I know.
Ben, there's this 2019 Series 1. I don't even know.
You ready for this? So I opened my other box of UFC cards, and this is gonna. You guys are gonna love this, right?
Jockstrap.
You guys, for you, right? So I got my.
Are you not opening cards this whole time?
No. Well, yeah.
He's not even listening to us.
Yes. Yeah. This is gonna piss you guys off because it definitely pissed me off. Right. Here we go. First autograph. Marcus Davis, right? Okay. He's a nobody.
Yeah.
Second autograph, Dan the Man Henderson. All right, that's pretty nice. I'm pretty stoked about that. I got my 2 autographs.
Sean wants that card.
I got my 2 autos, right? So that was cool.
Yeah.
And then I opened a pack and I see this.
Oh, a Bisbee redemption?
That expired in 2012.
In 2012?
In 2012.
Oh my gosh.
Was that
It's the best, one of the best autographs you can get out of the whole damn thing.
You might be able to call them and they might do something.
So I pulled a Dan the Man Henderson and a Michael Bisping autograph out of the same box. What are the odds of that?
I would call Topps.
I don't know, man. They did you pretty dirty. I don't see why they did me pretty dirty.
But you got
we're sending in though.
But you got a redemption. That's different for me. I'm saying I didn't get something. That's totally different. You actually have a physical thing saying you got that.
Yeah, yeah. So, anyways, I thought you guys would like that. And now we'll call it a night. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Make sure you guys go check out comicbookinvest.com. Pick yourselves up an Over the Ropes #1 CBSI exclusive NES homage cover. Only 125 printed. They're $12, which is an amazing price for a book limited to 125. $1 from each sale goes to charity. There's plenty of cool variants on there. You can't beat it. Other than that, adios, guys.